Welcome back, everybody. We're here on episode number 16 of the Backroad Banter podcast. I'm Wyatt. This is Justin. I don't know how everybody else is going to view this, but we're on opposite sides of the screens today because of our software. You want to take some digs at our software? I don't think we have done that.
Yeah.
I don't think we've talked about how much work goes into this. I don't think we've talked about how much work goes into this. Because the only reason that a ton of work ever has to go into this is because we are constantly fighting with the shit that we use to record this.
Yeah, this software that we're using, and as somebody that has actually used real editing software for, commercials and various videos and stuff, I know a difference between good software and not user-friendly software. And this is not user-friendly software with bugs. And it's never the two. It's either super complicated software or it's really mundane and anybody can use it, but the shit works.
Yeah.
And this is a combo of both. It's
Yeah,
really
this is like constantly fighting an uphill battle. Like we've recorded, anybody that's ever listened to any of these, if you've ever listened for a long time, you thought, wow, this sounds like shit. Like there's a reason behind that, and the reason is usually because that's the only way it sounds at all.
Yep.
Like we have recorded quite a few episodes, at least 2 that I know of, maybe 3, possibly even 4, but we've definitely recorded at least 2 where we've had to trim out sections of pretty good conversation, or we've had to make it sound like fucking complete garbage because of the software that we use, and it's screwed us quite a bit. It screwed us quite a bit. It's never screwed us. We've always got our episodes up and on time. I don't think we've ever released one later than Friday.
No.
So, we're pretty good on that, but it has definitely put us into scramble mode more than once.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's put us into scramble mode. You always try to get the shit out on time. I like a good schedule, especially with us.
Yes.
And if you do like listening to this thing, Friday's a good day to listen. You know what I mean? Like this is a very Friday show. Like
I like having it out on Friday because there's usually, honestly, I think we probably average 4 listeners, or at least 4 views, and it's good to have it out on Friday because even if they don't listen directly on Friday, the weekend, I think, is when anybody does, if they do at all.
Yeah.
And I know that's when I get a lot of my extra, BS just content, my just filler content, my entertainment content kind of pushed in and stuff. But yeah, it's really, I'm with you there. I like that you pointed it out. It's rather frustrating. Well, primarily cutting out the content that we've had to cut out. Like like Wyatt's alluded to previously, I'm the one that usually does the editing, and I always listen through the podcast 2 or 3 times, and the problem is listening and editing, and then whenever you render the video, or I guess process the video through, that's where our mess-ups come in, and that's where we have stuff cut out, and it's just caused so much trouble.
The thing is, the software that we use, it likes to try to do a lot for you, and that's what they advertise it as. Is they'll advertise it as a software that does a lot for you, and it does when it works well. But it doesn't always work well. It doesn't take every variable into account. Quite often it's cut me out. It's cut me out because it picks me up as background noise because I record in a fucking huge room with a lot of echo.
Yeah.
So it'll cancel out my echo more often than not. But in doing that, it will also pick me up as background noise when I'm talking right into this thing.
And if similarly to how I just did, and I'm sorry to do it to you, it's just how we do. But if we run back and forth off of each other, it picks me up for the end of his tracks, and it'll pick him up on the end of my audio tracks. And whenever it comes to me editing and trying to get everything, sequenced and lined up good, and if I have to split the audio, and it's just countless troubles. The only thing that I do have to say is that we are not using the paid version, so I do want to be completely through.
Yeah, we're cheapskates.
We are using the free version as of now, but I plan for us to upgrade here soon, just because Well, we've said it multiple times. It's one thing. I'm kind of glad we talked about this because we always talk about how appreciative we are for people to be along this ride, and like we're figuring it out as we go, and constantly, all these weekly battles that we're having, it's making it to where whether we're looking for other options or more understanding the issues that we're having, I think we're making improvements every week.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it definitely. I think if you go back to episode 1, or shit, I guess which anybody that listens to this might not have. I mean, they will eventually, I think, but they don't, as of right now, don't have the opportunity to go back and look at 0. We have an episode 0. I don't. Anybody that has watched this, I'm not sure if they know that we have an episode 0. It was a lot of trial and error. We tried to record in the same room, which would have been sweet, which we will figure out one of these days.
Yeah, we'll do it. We just got to get the same. We have to get the same camera. That's the only thing, so that we can plug in through the same audio.
Yeah, but we have we've definitely episode 0 was the ultimate trial, but really all of them have been a trial. Like one is a trial for the next one. Even at this point, it's 16. 16's a trial for 17. Every one of them, I think, will be a trial probably until we get to 50. I mean 50, 51. Like this is it's not a system. Like we never constructed a system for this. Never felt that we had to. And even whenever we've started to construct a sort of system for it, it's been like organic. We've never like sat down and be like, okay, I think this would be a good idea to put here, and this would be a good idea to put here. It's like one of us will randomly throw in a segment, and oftentimes the other person doesn't know about it, and we're just like, okay, yeah, we roll with it.
Yeah.
And then we get to the end of it, and then whenever we get done recording, we sit there and chit chat, and then it's usually like, I really like that. We need to make this a thing. And that's kind of how the whole show's been constructed. It's really been a show of trial and error. I think Trial and Error would have been a damn good name for the show if we hadn't picked a different one. If we ever make a new one, it will be called Trial and Error.
Which I guess we could also like just give instance. If anybody finds the name dumb in everything, it was also kind of the first name. Like we went with the first name that we thought of that was at all that we could make relevance to our life and kind of why we do it.
Yeah, it was really funny because I think the conversation about our name, how it came about, is I think you sent me a mock-up logo, and I said, I fucking love it. And that was all it took, man.
Yep.
That was seriously all it took. I was in the middle of work. I think I went on my lunch break. I pulled out my phone, checked my phone, and I see this picture. It's the logo we use now. Yep. And I was like, I like it. Like, it's very us.
Yeah.
So yeah, it worked really well, like right from the get-go.
I have hope that one day when we're on Spotify and more on our website, we'll end up doing some post shows periodically, and we'll be able to say it. Backroads means a lot because anybody that's relevant or anybody that was around here, it's kind of relevant to go cruising, go backroading, just go riding with your friends. Expect like that's bonding experiences. That's conversations. It's it's so many things wrapped into one that thinking back on it, there's not a friend that I had throughout my that I've had throughout my life that I don't have some cruise stories to just talk about and that have come from it. So. Yeah, it felt really fitting, and I promise I did not know that there were other Backroad Banter podcasts until we were already far into the decision-making process of creating this thing.
I think we weren't only far into the decision-making process. I think we made a couple episodes.
We may have.
I think we did. I think we shot a couple and posted a couple, and then we found it, and then we were like, till these guys say something.
Yeah. Well, I felt bad when I found the other one, but I think there's 2. And if there's 2,
then I don't feel bad at all.
I don't feel bad at all because I'm just like, it's probably a relatable name. It makes sense why it was thought of. Like,
I like that I'm wearing my hat with the B on it too.
Yeah, it looks real good. I like it. That's an old hat. I remember you getting that hat on.
Yeah. UCLA Bruins baseball is what this hat is for anybody that's wondering. If you think it's a blue Red Sox hat with a yellow logo, it is not. It looks that way, but it's not. It's an old UCLA has since switched their logo. This is an old UCLA Bruins baseball hat. So
it's really similar to the Pirates P design. Logo font.
Yeah.
It might be the same font.
Well, no, it's not quite the same font, but it is literally the same font as the Red Sox B. If you've seen like a Red Sox hat, the Red Sox hats still look like this.
I thought theirs was a little. That makes. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, with the white stripe around the red.
Yeah, UCLA has since
White
changed
outline.
their B slightly. If you were to look up a UCLA Bruins hat now, but I mean, I can just to clear up any potential debate. I does see UCLA right there. So it is. It's not just a reskinned Red Sox hat. It is actually a UCLA hat. But
That would be funny though.
yeah, because when I first bought it, I thought it was a reskinned Red Sox hat. But and then I looked at it. I'm like, no, it's UCLA baseball. I'll take it. I like UCLA baseball.
Just a cool color scheme too. That looks good.
Yeah, produce some good players. But yeah, man, this show has never. This show has really just been organic and it kind of like goes as it goes. I guess there's no other way to describe it. It's not. There's nothing that's ever set in stone. There's just been ideas bounced around, and we're always super open to try them. Yep. Because like this is a thing that we never did. You know what I mean? So if you go into a thing you never do, I think you got to try shit, and if you don't, then what are you doing? You know?
Yeah, I even though it's for my job, like I guess nobody would know, but I am, in my opinion, I am the most anti-social media guy and anti-online guy I know.
I can vouch for that. Yeah, I can vouch for that. I've been sending you Instagram shit for like 3 weeks that I don't think you looked at until yesterday. So yeah, I can vouch for that. Yeah,
I don't care for my phone. But with that, I find it ironic that I'm like willing to not only put this stuff online, but to like actually be 100% organic in me.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just so much the opposite of social media or just an online presence now, because everything is filtered in some sense. And
a lot of things are filtered. Not only that, but if you see an influencer, they're quite often giving you a gimmick. They're not like that. They don't like. This is we do this too long and too frequently for this to be fake. Like we can't sit here and put on a mask or put on a face for anybody. We talk for too long about too many different things. Like you know, that's what you get the real us because you have to. You can't sit here and play a gimmick on this thing because it's too much. You know what I mean? It would shift who you actually are. So yeah, you see a lot of that. That's the thing that I have with social media is you see a lot of people with gimmicks. See a lot of people with fucking pro wrestling style gimmicks on social media. I worked with one. I don't know if you've ever known one in person. A social media influencer.
No, I don't consider anybody an influencer. If you're actually, the funny thing is like you're not influencing anything.
Fuck like, no. You're giving people a lot of shit to laugh at.
And my issue with it is that everybody, like, nobody. The reason why I like what we're doing and I listen to a lot of the podcasts that I do is because everybody is unique and you get that sense of who that person is. They find, like, whereas everybody finds their niches, their corners, their markets that they like, that they fall into with careers and all this other thing. Whenever it comes to personality, I've learned this. I've never left Glenville, and I've already learned that everybody falls into so many different categories and niches in terms of their lifestyle and personality. And my favorite thing is highlighting that and just getting to discuss that and talk about that. Like, it's the best thing about working at the college is between the students and my coworkers. I am so different than everybody, even though I'm so close to their age, and yet I'm able to learn or at least appreciate their enjoyment or their interest or honestly their desire to simply succeed. Because I look back at myself at this time, at that, you know, their age, and I'm like, man, I didn't have that. Good for you guys to be a little more focused, you know. So it's just really interesting. It's my favorite thing to show off the different personalities and like, okay, we can have different opinions on this, but look how similar we are in this.
Yeah, for real. It's a good it's definitely a good show of the internet. The internet really is, especially here in recent years, is real bad about painting like a picture, like, oh, if you believe this, you can't talk to people that believe this. Like, that's not fucking true.
It's not life. That makes no sense.
The one that I hate about everything is, and you'll see this argument a lot on social media, whether it be about politics, about sports, about entertainment, about whatever you look at, you will see the shittiest argument on earth, and it's usually the dumbest fucking people that you know that'll their only argument is, if you believe A, B, and C, then you're an idiot. You'll see so much of that argument, and you're like, well, why? You can't tell me why. You just don't agree with it. You just don't agree.
Perspective?
You do, like, you just don't agree with it, and you think that saying, oh, well, if you believe X, Y, and Z, you're a dipshit. Like, that doesn't make it true. You're just fake dunking on somebody. And then you'll have the dumbest motherfuckers on earth that are like, oh, he got him. Like, no, he didn't. He's just an asshole. Yep. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't get anybody. You're just a prick. Like,
yep.
Like,
it's so funny. I self-recognize with that because, like, 20-year-old me was that way. I just categorized.
I was too, yeah.
Or not, maybe not 20-year-old me, but definitely 16-year-old me. I categorized instead of just worrying about myself. And that's the biggest thing, is that I can fully disagree 100% with you. But if the only thing that we have is a 2-hour, 3-hour weekly conversation through the phone, and it's nothing but enjoyment,
yeah,
why should I not want to spend time with you?
Yeah,
hang out with you? And oh my gosh, it's just so funny. My coworker, I know I talk about him, but my coworker Joey, me and him are just such good buddies, and it's hard for me to find people our age, really outside of high school. I haven't found people that's my age that, outside of my wife, that I could ever be a friend with. And with him, it's because of we're able to have such grown up and in some senses profound conversations. And the reason I say profound is because I look at just the elders within my life and within grown up, and I know at 20 years old, they never would have been not just open to having the conversations, but truly wanting to understand, like, oh, okay, so that's why you think that. Okay, well, can I tell you that because I grew up this way, and my parents were this, and I went through this experience as a kid, it's kind of influenced me to believe this.
Right,
we both found that common ground with everything. And though we are so fundamentally different, our likenesses has made it to where, like, we're not just work colleagues, we're buddies, we're friends, and it's really cool to see. It was a good example of honestly of maturity within myself, but also I always tell him, because he is left leaning in terms of politics. That's one, like, super left leaning, so that's one reason how we differ. But we realized, like, I constantly tell him I have faith in our generation so much more, because I think there's a bunch of us that just realize, dude, you're allowed to be an individual. You're allowed to be an individual. It's individualism, individualistic, individuality, all of those terms. That's great to have, and it's great to be able to self-identify as a unique person. And it's okay that we don't think the same.
Yeah.
Because, again, it just goes back to look at how much we have in common. Or if not, if we have 100% completely opposite of each other. If the only time that you hate me is June to November of every 4 years.
I thought you were just about to say June, and I was like, all right.
June to November every 4 years, meaning the election cycle, the heated up election cycle.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Gay Pride Month.
No, that's
I was like, yo,
dude, I don't even. No offense to anybody, I don't know that that's in June.
I think it's in June.
Dude,
I'm sorry if I got it wrong to anybody that might hear it, but I think
Easter is on Sunday, and I went to work thinking 2 weeks ago in a department meeting. I was like, guys, we got to come up with something for Easter. I'm out of ideas for social media, and they're like, you know.
They said, "What's an Easter?"
And I was like, no, dude, it's Sunday. It's on.
They said, "Who's this
on
Jesus fella you're talking about?"
Well, that's how they knew, because they are very religious. So
because you brought up Jesus. They're like, "What's Easter?" And you said, whenever Jesus died and then he came back. And they're like, "Oh."
I taught him something new. That's what it was.
No, Easter falls on a crazy combination of dates this year, man. Easter's nice. Yeah, dude, got the Easter headset. Easter is on this Sunday, which is 4/20, which is also WrestleMania weekend. So that's a big triple crown for me. I get to go to the store.
Go to the store and enjoy some wrestling, dude.
Yeah, I get to go to the store, watch WrestleMania, and eat Easter food.
Heck yeah.
Or whatever that is. I'll go
awesome.
Murder a rabbit. We can say murder. We can say murder on this show. We just can't put it on TikTok.
You can't put it on TikTok, and you can't be in the Minecraft movie.
Yeah, that's right.
Two things you can't. It's a no-no.
Oh shit.
That's so funny.
Damn, I think that was a good little fucking intro there. But I think we're gonna go into what our normal intro is, man. What'd you get into this past week? Did you get into anything eventful?
Oh shit. I mean, I did. Honestly, similar to our freaking podcast description, I did a little bit of nothing and a whole lot. I don't know, or a little bit of everything and a whole lot of nothing. Whatever it says, I don't remember. But
that is what it is. That's our bio somewhere.
That's what I did. I was able to take my brother Caleb's senior senior prom pictures. He asked me to do that for him and his girlfriend, and
that's really cool. He asked you to do it.
I was very nervous because I don't like posed pictures. I've come to enjoy photography and learn that I can be good at moments, but it's usually live events that are kind of where I feel comfortable at. Posed ones I don't, because that's 100% on me. And but they turned out well, and he liked them, and his girlfriend liked them, which is what mattered most. So that was great. And after seeing him, he asked me to do his senior picture, so that was cool. But honestly, that really was that was about it. We just did, me and Faith ran around, did some prom stuff for them there Friday, and just did that, and then rested the rest of the weekend. Work's been pretty mundane, aside from they're tearing down the football field, and they've the next time you come down, I'd say everything except the field will be down.
They're tearing down what football field?
College field.
For what?
A $30 million. In my opinion, it is.
If you say indoor, I'm gonna have a fucking stroke on air.
No, it's not an indoor. It's not an indoor, but it is.
Okay.
It's a health center. It is a campus, or it is a community center, and it is also a full-on stadium, dude. This thing is. This thing is a mini WVU stadium. Mini
Really?
Park. No joke. It's really crazy.
What's the ETA on it to be done? Do you know? I'm assuming 3 years.
No, it'll be done next year.
What? Like by this football season?
No, it'll be done after this football season. They're signing contracts to play at high schools, a different game each.
They're gonna be the Oakland Athletics. Holy fuck!
Well,
that's
no, they couldn't. They don't gain anything from it. Glenville is gonna gain publicity from high schools, and they're gonna be like, "Hey,
that's true."
It's a really smart marketing tactic.
I think this fall we should go on the Glenville State High School tour and go to every home, or at least some home games. We should hit the. That's crazy, man. That sucked because I really wanted to go to a game this year, but I mean, I guess I can still find a way. I'm sure they'll be somewhere nearby. I don't know what fields are around us that are college quality.
Oh, well, they'll travel everywhere. You got to think they play out of state too, so they'll travel anywhere.
Yeah, but for home games though, like will they also travel everywhere? Are they gonna meet somebody somewhere or?
No, the home games are where they're traveling to high school. All their
Yeah,
away
right.
games are, yeah. See,
Right.
they're all, I don't know where because I'm not a part of athletics, but I'll just send you these. I won't,
Man, if I still had my connects in athletics, I would ask, but my connects retired, so I don't have them.
yeah. Yeah, it's going to be sick. It's going to be sick.
It sounds awesome. I'm very excited to go to the first game in the new one.
It hasn't been released yet. Oh, yeah, dude. That you have to.
I have to.
I should still be working there. I don't know if I will be. But it's going to be sick.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I like seeing the college making big moves.
Yeah,
The university making big moves.
And unmark it. Okay, yeah. So that's exactly what they're doing. They're making big moves, and they're definitely putting their mark on with a university name. Like they're not letting that university name go to waste at all.
That's good. That's good. I respect that. I mean, yeah, that's that. I'm excited to go to the first game there. But yeah, we're gonna have to do at least a little chunk of the high school tour, depending on where they play. I don't know where near us they could play. Like I know Braxton County's not a college grade football field, at least wasn't.
Well, you have to. They're gonna go to areas that are gonna benefit them.
So I could see them.
Parkersburg. Parkersburg is our biggest.
I could see Parkersburg.
Areas.
I could see Parkersburg. I could see a game at St. Mary's. I could see a game at St. Mary's for sure. I could almost put money on a game at St. Mary's. Man, I wonder if Fairmont would be generous enough to let us borrow the field for a week. I doubt it.
Fairmont,
Fairmont State, yeah.
Well, no, they don't want to. No, like it's a contract to do high schools. It is a marketing ploy.
Okay.
They're not.
Because I know there are high schools that play at Fairmont. I know Notre Dame does or did. I don't know if they do now, but they did when I played. Yeah.
No, because that's not going to do anything. Because Fairmont's already got those guys.
Fairmont's already snatched up the Notre Dame guys. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be our hot markets or markets where we have potential.
Yeah.
But are showing low in numbers. I'll know here as soon as the schedule comes out. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, that is pretty cool though. That is pretty cool. I'd like to get to at least one.
Yeah. Just while we're on it, we've talked about a lot. I want to show you the amphitheater. You know what the amphitheater used to look like?
Like on campus, that amphitheater?
Yes.
Okay.
This was, last week probably while it was raining. For anybody that doesn't know, Glenville State University Amphitheater is getting a makeover for the first time in about 65, 70 years. And,
it's been a minute.
It is very well. I was questionable about it at first just because I was a student that enjoyed it and understood what it was.
Well, thank God I don't work at maintenance while this is going on. That looks like a whole bunch of extra bullshit to do.
No, they don't touch anything. None of this is maintenance.
Oh, these are all contractors.
Yeah, this has to be done on time, and this has this itself. I think the college has.
This has to be done on time. That's all you had to say. This had to be done on time, and I would know who wasn't doing it.
Well, and that's no slide to the maintenance workers. The problem is that the maintenance workers get hired as a plumber, and then expected to get out there and
they just only have X amount of resources. Yeah,
exactly.
They don't hire the college doesn't hire maintenance people to do this shit full time. No, you're 100% right. Yeah.
No, it's full on professionals, and that's only that end. I haven't showed you like the wall or anything, but it is there's a 35-foot wall that goes straight up, a brick wall that goes straight up behind the library now. Just super nice looking. It's gonna end up being really nice. Really crazy. A lot of updates coming. I sent you one more picture just for you to view, just for your own sake. But that is this was like yesterday or on Monday, or maybe even last week. But that's part of the demo for the field.
Wow. Yeah, they're doing some work.
Today they've got everything tore down except for where like the office space is. Everything that we renovated while at maintenance, changed the weight room into the locker room, and then all the actual locker rooms and everything completely wiped out except for one wall. As of today at 3, it's crazy. A lot of stuff coming in.
I really like what they're doing. Another thing I like is you know how many people that we probably went to high school with that are maybe have seen or heard about this, and their first thought was not, "Oh, that's cool." Their first thought was probably, "Oh, fuck, it would have been cool if they did that when I was in school."
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
Really, yeah,
who cares?
Especially because we are at the point in time to where it's not like, oh, we just missed this. Oh, darn it. We just missed it, man. No, we are way past that point. We are so far past that point that if you even, let's say, won a state championship at the time that we graduated high school, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's so crazy. I don't know. Definitely reminisce. Facebook memories, reminisce it. But don't go talking about it now.
Yeah, dude. That it is going to be very cool. It's going to be a very cool thing to it's cool for the kids that are going to get to use it. I would assume our high school is still going to use it. So, what is the high school going to do this year? Are they going to go back to playing at Brooklyn?
I don't know.
I hope not.
I wish I worked for the high school. I might get paid more.
Be the marketing guy to recruit people to the high school.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, that would be they would that would be a contractor's job. I would make less than what a coach does a year for them. I would make about 1,000.
Yeah, it's very cool what they're doing. I like to see it because as a person that's from that town, I don't ever want to see it die. I like seeing shit added. Sometimes it's a bit of a reach. Sometimes it's shit that we don't need.
Yeah.
But you have to keep it alive. There are few, like the reason our town exists is because it was right along a red hot transportation route before I-79. It was right along the river. That's why Glenville is whatever was anything, is because it was on a hot transportation route. They do not transport shit by river anymore. So you have to find a way to make the town a viable place to go to. You have to give it reasons to operate. That's one of them. That's grow the college. Like blow the college up because the college. That sounded like a threat. Make the college larger. Do not blow the college up. Disclaimer right now. Don't blow the college up. That's not what I'm telling you to do. But yeah, make the college bigger and keep people coming in. Whether it be athletes, whatever the fuck they're coming in for. Athletes, forestry, whatever. Bring them in, because that's how the town lives. It's not only how it survives, it's how it thrives. It's got to grow, because if it doesn't grow, it diminishes. It's just like any place does.
And that's exactly what the college has done. And I'm going to transition here in a second from college to university, because even whenever I first started working there, I kept calling it the college, and I do periodically in casual conversation, because that's just what it was our whole life. But after being here and seeing the progress, the difference, and seeing the plans, sorry, excuse me, seeing the plans for it, oh my gosh, bro, from having, 3 master's programs their first year to now they're 3 years in, and they're about to have like 10 or 12, but they're all they're not, what we're doing really well in that a lot of universities and colleges aren't, is the students that are leaving with an understanding, not just in their core subject and in their specialization, but within their overall schooling and within the focus of their degree. So like we offer biology degrees with concentrations in, let's say, 2 or 3 things.
Right.
But the focus is also biology. Like
right.
Every class is also biology. Whereas you go to a much larger university that offers a bajillion different things, you get a specialization in this. but then you really do just have a specialization and knowledge base in that, and it doesn't translate to a wide variety of jobs in the real world.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I didn't realize that until going and working for the marketing department. I go to a lot of various speakers and speeches and stuff, and it's something that I've heard repetitively over and over and over again when people have went on, through to get their doctorates or through any further schooling farther than Glenville. It's what they say is the concentration of knowledge that was given is so much larger than the concentration of the degree itself.
Right.
It's just really cool, and it's like you said, it's inspiring to know that this place isn't dying like we totally thought it was.
Oh, I said it a
For
million
so
times
long.
growing up. I said it a million times. I said once once we get to a certain period of time, this town's going to die. I don't think it will. I think the college is going to keep growing, which I hope it does. It keeps people there.
That's what's really sad is that through my 3 years in surveying, I mean, I worked all throughout the state and out of the state. I saw so many towns that were like ours that, 50, 60 years ago were killing it and were everything. And then you obviously see the decline. And at this point, they're in such a state that it's just depressing to know that not only are people living in there, but like they just don't have the assistance or the options that a lot of us do, and it all comes from geographic location.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, I was always a big. I always thought the town was gonna die, and I was also a big guy that was like, they're doing too much. They're trying to make this town into something it's not. Like you have to. Like that phrase, like "fake it till you make it" is not bullshit.
Nope.
It applies for a lot of things.
Yep.
It applies for anybody almost that's in any profession. Anybody on day one of their profession doesn't really fucking know what they're doing. They might have an idea, but they've never done the job until you do the job.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, fake it till you make it is very real, and that's what Glenville is doing, and I respect that.
It doesn't mean act like you know everything. It means
act like you're more qualified than you are. Act like you know more than you actually do.
And be aware of the learning situations whenever they come to you, because
yes.
they are constantly being given to you. And it's something that I tell my little brothers all the time. It's something that I wish I would have heard more and more whenever I was growing up. Uncomfortable situations make you stronger, but they also, like, you genuinely grow professionally and personally by putting yourself in situations you're unfamiliar with.
For sure.
It's just, and that's what all jobs do. It's something that I told Caleb about. Like, college for a lot of people, unless you directly have something like your degree is directly outlined to a career, it really gives a false sense of hope for people, because they're like, oh, I have a job. But then if you don't actually have a plan afterwards, man, how do I apply this piece of paper to anything? Like, what does it qualify me for? And within those qualifications, am I really qualified?
I remember what I was going with this. It's sort of what we're talking about, but it's not too much. But I think I'm gonna sprinkle in a little bit of this is like an old people thing to say. It might be an old person thing to say or a young person thing to say, depending on what way you want to look at it. I think the generation gap, the generation before us, our parents, I think they got it instilled into their head too much that they can do anything and everything all of the time. And then they learned that they couldn't. And then our generation got too much realism, like, drilled into our head. Like, you're never going to do nothing. Fucking just find a job and do it. You know what I mean? And I think we got to meet a good little happy medium there. Like, it's okay to not know what you're doing. You got to act like you know what you're doing to get a job. But, like, it's okay to not know what you're doing for a little bit. But the fact of the matter is you're not going to know until you do it.
Yep.
Like, yep. But yeah, I really do think these older generations got the American dream drilled a little bit too much into their head. Like, you could do whatever you want as long as you set your mind to it. And then a lot of them got proven wrong. And then they just taught their kids, like, find something realistic.
Yeah. Which is not a bad, it's not a bad thing to say. It's just, it's really ironic because now the 1940s American dream of whatever you want to be is kind of a possibility.
Yeah.
Really exists.
Yeah,
Now
it's
more
just
than ever.
much different than it used to be, but yeah, it
Yes.
does exist. Yeah.
It kind of plays into one of the conversations we had there last week where I don't know, we were talking about, I had brought up something just about where having interest in hobbies and things that you enjoy outside of work is a lot more put into a lot more emphasis now than what it used to be, and it's because we realized, like, wow, why do we not want to enjoy our life? Like, sleeping and working kind of just sucks.
Yeah, it really does.
And for us average people, we, even with college degrees and with certain things, like, life isn't always great jobs and this and that. Like, I have an awesome job. I can't complain about it, which honestly bothers me. But there are also, like, it's not what I wanted to do. And within that, it's realizing that within not being what I wanted to do, I'm not happy every day. I'm not happy a lot of the days. And that's why, whether it be your family or my hobbies or this podcast, you know, talking to you every week, it's just these little things that look forward that help me get through these 8 hours, 9 hour days, whatever it may be, and on to the next, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, this show has helped me a lot. There's been plenty of days where I've had, like, just, like, a dog shit day, and then I will be, like, about to record, and I'm like, all right, I got to put on a face so I can record. I don't want to be all pissed off. And then all it takes is 5-10 minutes, and it's like I'm not pissed off anymore. It is at that point, it's gone. It's not even like I'm acting like I didn't have a bad day. The bad day is out the window. It doesn't.
Yep. It's coming in, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be a bad day. For me, there's been times where I'm just like, fuck, I thought I wanted to, but I don't want to record right now.
Right.
And then once we start, I'm like, no, I'm glad that we're getting it out of the way now, and I'm glad we're having the conversation right now. I needed this.
Yeah,
It was
I
good.
think from my experience, our best episodes have been whenever I've been in, like, that spot. I can't speak for you, but I think some of our best ones have been days that, like, I've come home from a long ass day at work and I'm like, fuck, I don't know if I got this in me, and then I sit down and we go, and then it turns out very well. Yeah, I think, you know, that happens a lot. That's why, like, there's definitely some days where I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to do it today. And then I just do it anyway, and I never regret it. I don't think I've ever regretted it one time. Like, it's just always been, like, it always just, like, the little boost.
Yeah.
You need to get through the bullshit.
Yeah, it's it's an extra one that is there when I don't really realize I need it, honestly.
Yeah. That's like it's the days where it almost feels like a chore, where it kind of hits off the best.
Yeah. Is that a lager of some sort?
Some ale of some kind. Dead guy ale, whatever it is. Let me see.
Let me know how it is, man.
It's strong. 6
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I like that. I used to really like that stuff, but now I'm a light beer guy.
Yeah, this second one's my last one. Like, I'm done for the day. I've had, I don't know how many shots and how many beers. So this is our weekend. Like, this is our version of the weekend. This is our Sunday for me and her. So we got up this morning, went to the storage unit, got a car full of shit out of the storage unit because I'm moving all my stuff out of there. And then I was like, well, I'm not recording until 4. We can go to the bar or something if you want to. We've been at the bar since like 12:30. And we were at the bar from like 12:30 to 4. I was just drinking Miller Lights and fucking Crown Apple, and I was like, well, I got to have some beer for the show, so I stopped and got these.
Did you deliver any kids while you were there? Fuck me.
No, dude. I don't think so.
I think that would be a fantastic way to spend a Tuesday.
It was nice. Like, we went in there right as the fucking place opened, like, ordered some food and just fucking...
for hanging out purposes.
Yeah, it was nice.
Me and Faith drink a lot. She doesn't drink at all anymore, and I don't drink heavy, but just a good atmosphere, you know?
Yeah, like, she actually likes the going out scene, and I don't, but I can always convince her to go to a bar in the middle of the day, which is nice for me because that's when I like to go. Like, I like going in there. There's fucking 3 or 4 other people. I have a seat at the bar. I can order some drinks and some food. Relax. Watch a rerun of the Pirates game from last night.
Yep. Well, heck yeah. Well, we'll just We'll continue on like we usually do. This podcast is going really good. I like this format that we've got going on today. But how was your week, man?
Dude, fucking
what have you been into?
uneventful, man. Today, this week, I'm hot off my long week. My long week just ended. So for those who don't know, which I don't know if anybody knows, I've never really fully explained it. I got a new work schedule. I do work some weekends. I work straight 12-hour shifts now, which does suck. But what doesn't suck is I have a lot more days off. I have so much more time to do shit. And I only work, the most I work is 3 days at a time. And that's my long week. Other than that, I work 2 days at a time. Like, I've had 2 days off. I go back tomorrow, Thursday, and then I'm done for 3 days. So it's like, it's a good little schedule. I really do like it. It makes work not overwhelming because, like, when I wake up, it's not like I'm sitting there thinking of, oh, fuck, I got 5 days ahead of me. I don't want to do. I never have 5 days ahead of me. I have at most 3, and that's only once every 2 weeks. Most of the time, I have 2 days ahead of me. That's it.
That's crazy.
That's it. Like, I have Monday, Friday. That's the only 2 settings I have. I don't have Tuesday through Thursday anymore. I have Monday, Friday. Those are my settings.
That'd be pretty.
So, like,
once adjusted to, that could be pretty nice.
yeah, and I'm adjusted, and I enjoy it. The only way I wouldn't enjoy it is if, like, I was in your spot and had kids and shit, because I wouldn't get to see my kids. I guess if I was in your spot, I would get to see my kids, because your daughter's too young to be in school.
Yeah.
But if I was a dad that had school-age children, this would suck, because, like, I just worked Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 7 to 7:30.
Yeah.
You know, like, that would suck. Like, that's the only time that you get to see your kids. They're at school the other times.
And that's the hardest thing. Like, that's where I'm at right now. I constantly talk about it. It's really weird being a parent because even just to a year, or I guess not a year ago now, but, you know, a year ago theoretically, you know.
Yeah.
In my sense, before Layla, even while Faith was just pregnant, it was like, okay, gotta make sure Faith's okay. But other than that, it's my time. It's all this and that. Whenever I had my time, it was my time. And I had less of it, technically, because I was working so much more as a surveyor.
Mm-hmm.
And but now working for marketing, it's the opposite. Like, I make no money, but
You got time.
I got time, and it's actually my time. And though a lot of it is doing stuff I don't want to do, or, you know, not saying that as a parent or as a husband or anything, but you know what I mean. Like,
You might not want to do it, but you're doing it with the people you want to do it with.
yes.
Yes, I do know. I do know exactly what you mean. Like, some of it's still chores, but you wouldn't pick any other companions to do those chores with. Yeah.
I don't want to be stuck around the house having to do a bajillion different things and look over and see or hear anybody but the two that I see and hear.
Yes. Yeah, I get what you mean.
But within that, like, I also enjoy it so much more. Like, I always talk about all the time that I get with Layla in the mornings or Layla in the evenings. Dude, that little pee break going down there, just seeing her for 5 minutes was great. Like,
Yeah.
It's really weird. Kids are such they drain so much out of you, but they also boost you and give you so much in the same sense. I don't know. It's a really weird perspective, and I don't mean to go to kids, but just within our daily lives, it's what I go through now, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, it would be so, like, I constantly think about it. Like, I talk about your schedule. I talk about my brother's schedule. I talk about my dad's schedule. Like, I hate being in certain positions that I'm in right now and that I have to be in. But I'm in the right position to be with my family. Like,
Yeah.
I put myself in a position to have a family right now, and so I need to be in a position to be there for them.
Yep.
And I'm very appreciative that at the right time I was able to make that jump from surveying to this to do so. And I find it so funny that you think of that and that you've like you recognize that and stuff, only because it shows, like, okay, I know right now this is a good spot for where I'm at because of where I'm at. But
yeah, that's exactly what it is. Sorry to cut you off, but that is
not at all.
That is exactly what it is. It's the way it is right now is it does work perfectly for me because, like, we talk about family. I don't have a family, but I do have a relationship. It's not new, but it's too new to have a family with. So it's like I don't got to worry about the family part yet. But I took my schedule. I wasn't forced to take my schedule. I took it. I volunteered. They were. I've been working at that job for a while. They were going to give me the choice. I chose to take the long one because it worked best for what I do and what I want to do. Like my girlfriend works nursing, so her schedule's all over the place too. So like, she had Monday and Tuesday off this week with me. You know what I mean? So like, it just works best for me because quite often in my, 5 8 hour shifts that I work Monday through Friday every single week, like yeah, I had every weekend off guaranteed, but she didn't. So it's like, I'd get to Friday and I'd hang out with her Friday night, and then she's working a 12-hour shift Saturday. You know what I mean? It bounces around so much, but now it's like it lines up for us to do so much extra shit. And I'm so like not burnt out. It's awesome. Like I used to be Monday through Friday would give you that Monday Friday burnout. And then Saturday rolled around. Oh, I don't want to fucking do anything. I just hot off this work week. You know what? I'll do this and this, but I'm not going to do the rest of them. And then Sunday would roll around, and I'm like, well, this is the last day I get before I got to go back to work. I don't want to do that much. I want to do my relaxing stuff. Now it's not like that. It's like, okay, I worked 2 days. Now I'll wake up. I'll get something done. I will do my luxury shit on my second day off, and I will go back to work for 2 days. Like so I'm more productive. I get more done. I really do, which is crazy because I didn't think I would. I thought the 12s would kick my ass, but it's like if you only got to worry about 2 at a time. It's really nothing. Like I got to go to work this week. The only days I got to work this week, Monday through Sunday. The only days I got to work this week are Wednesday, Thursday. That leaves me so much time to do shit.
Well, I have a couple things. First of all, I worked 12s as a surveyor and would work 4, and even that was easy to a sense, but that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love hearing that because it really does. It just goes back to everything. To what I want my essence and me as a human to be, like appreciating the difference. You outlined like no, you don't have a family, but you have the same thing as I do. You have responsibilities and you have priorities.
Yeah.
And within that, you also have perspective, and we all have priorities and responsibilities. But you look and you took your perspective, and yours doesn't work for everybody. Yours may not work for most people, but it does in your situation. And to understand that, like, I just like that. I like that because right now it's a situational basis. It's the same thing as me understanding with this job, not only within the work I'm able to do, but within the time outside, it worked so much better than my previous one. And I think it's awesome that you didn't have to switch jobs to find that right now. And especially for you, I know you're not making money wise what you want to, but to not make bad and to still be able to honestly make it work more for your life. That's really cool because a little bit of change with a little bit of comfortability, that's the best.
It works out. It works out very well because what happens is I have 1 week that's hell. Like I don't have a name for it yet. I'm sure I will find. I'm not going to call it Hell Week. That's ripped off from one of the branches of the military, so I'm not going to call it Hell Week. But I do have one shitty week. It's a shitty week followed by a nothing week. I'm starting my nothing week tomorrow. Like I have a 5-day week and then a 2-day week. That's what I have. I work. It's 1 week I do Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The next week I do Wednesday, Thursday. So it's a shit week and then a nothing week. Like literally a fucking nothing week. It's a week where I want to go back to work because it's like, damn, I've been sitting around the house for 2 days. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do the rest of the week. I got to burn time till Friday, Yeah.
Man.
But yeah, I mean, next week I'll have a real story. But other than that, I'm fresh off of the shit week, so it's not that. So it hadn't been that good. Next week I'll be fresh off of the short week, and I'll have a Pirates game under my belt. Basically, all I did with my time off is I played video games. I did a little bit of extra work on the computer. I emptied out my storage unit, and then right before recording, I spent a few hours at the bar on a Tuesday afternoon
Well,
with nothing else to worry about but this show. So
Well,
yeah,
I like that. I like that recap, dude. You said you had nothing to do, but that developed a really good conversation within itself.
yeah, that is true.
I like this is gonna. I can already tell this is gonna be one of my favorite episodes because we haven't even talked about anything, and we've talked about a lot. And I think that even just with again goes into whatever freaking description it's on. Goes into whatever description of our podcast is. We talk about a whole lot with a whole little, you know.
Yeah, it is. I think we could walk in here with 2 pieces of paper and a fucking chewed up piece of gum, and I think we could make at least an hour.
Oh yeah, 100%. I know that because I have not looked at my piece of paper and it's been an hour.
Yeah, I haven't either. I don't think. No, I haven't. I haven't looked at a single thing. I've looked at it. I haven't said a single thing.
Minus the pee break, so I guess it hasn't been an hour. But
yeah, we'll have to cut about 10 off of that. But yeah, we're very close. But I think it is time to get into the. Sorry, I made myself laugh. I don't know why I was going to say I think it's time to get into the sausage of this podcast, but I think it's time we get it. Don't look at me like that. Sorry, I had. That was about the only time. That was about the only time she ever made an appearance. But I said something so stupid that she had to make an appearance. Didn't even say a word. Just looked at me with exactly how I looked at myself. Yeah, no, it's time to get into the fucking what do they call it? The meat and potatoes of this podcast. That's what I was looking for when I said sausage. Yeah. You've heard that, right? Have you? Yeah. We had a teacher that said that. I forget who it was.
Well, I've just heard that in general. It's a very common saying.
Yeah, it's like the important part. Yeah, it's the. I mean, I guess all of this is the important part, but I'm talking basketball. God damn it, it's time. It's the real time, dude. It's almost.
Yeah, let's talk basketball. I actually have basketball talk. Let's talk basketball.
Oh fuck, I got a lot of it. So I got the whole standings, man. We're looking at the play-in tournament.
Yeah, I want to look at before we get into playoffs. Let's look at how the season ended.
Yeah.
So, whenever it wasn't on LeBron's Big Brown Hog, the NBA spotlight was for the most part on the Thunder, and the Thunder's point guard, I believe it is.
Yeah, Shea.
Alexander.
Yeah, old SGA, brother. Yeah, I like that guy. He's the shit.
So he led in points or something.
That sounds right.
Right? I'm just going to get it up here because I already have it up here. He led in points and averages or whatever else it was.
32.7 points per game.
But whenever you look at everything else, so I bring this up. You only hear about him.
Yeah.
But yet, Jokic has
dominated.
Averaged a triple-double. What is that? Third player ever? Third player ever to do that, I think?
Oscar Robertson, who did it one time. Russell Westbrook, who did it 4. Yeah.
Yes. But within that, his numbers are insane. And I'm just looking at points per game.
29.6.
Yeah. 17 or 12, almost 13 rebounds, and just over 10 assists. But
also number two in steals, if you didn't know that.
And that's what you have to look at all around. The only thing I'm surprised about, he wasn't on blocks, but I guess it makes sense if he was everywhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
yeah, third in rebounds. I think it was third in scoring, third in rebounds, and third in assists. I believe he was third in all 3 of them. I think.
My brother brought it up to me a few weeks ago, and I was like, nah. But I agree with him now. I think he'll be robbed if he doesn't win MVP.
Yes.
Because even though Thunder are number 1, look at where the Nuggets are, and think about where they'd be without him. I truly agree.
I love that you said that. That's the best fucking argument for MVP in that league. Is you take this guy away, what does this team do? That's like, I think a lot of people get that mixed up. They think it's the best player. It's not the best player. If you're the best player in the league, you have the best scoring numbers or whatever, and you're on a team that didn't make the playoffs, nobody fucking cares. You know? No. Like, yeah, you have to win.
You have to do something with it.
And when you're a team that's, let's see, what's Denver? Denver's 4 seed, 50-32. You take Jokic off that team, what do they do?
They're
Like,
not even in the playoffs.
You take Jokic off of that team, they're sitting down there battling it out with Dallas and Sacramento for last fucking place.
They might be 9
or not last place, but play-in.
Play-in.
Yeah, they might be a play-in team if they take Jokic out. You take Shea off of OKC, I mean, they still got, let's see, Alex Caruso, he's no star, but he's a defensive player. He's a damn good defensive player. So is Lou Dort. Chet Holmgren, who's been fucking crazy, I believe, this season. Yeah, when he was healthy. He was solid.
Yeah, so you could just go a lot of ways. I just wanted to throw that in there that after.
Oh no, Justin, I lost you. Okay, we're good.
There we go.
Yeah, okay, I lost you for just a second. I think you're good though.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
Okay, so I agree that, or I guess I agree with him, but he didn't say it. But I think that he'll be snubbed if he doesn't win MVP again because he deserves it.
Yeah. Now the Thunder are still a lot worse without Shea, but the Nuggets are much worse without Jokic.
Yes.
That's just what I think. I think it's a big. There's a guy on the Thunder. I'm looking just through the roster right now. There's a guy named Nikola Topic.
No, but that's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm being fucking dead serious. Actually,
I bet they're from the same place.
I'll screenshot it and send it to you. I almost sent that to Jocelyn. Hold on.
That is hilarious. So this doesn't have anything to do with that, and we'll get into the standings, which is the play-in tournament. This is a random NBA thing. I saw the top-selling jerseys for this year because they just ended it when the season ended.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna name them off for you.
How long's your list? Do you have all 10?
I have.
You have
15.
top 10.
I have 15. But
name all of them.
Okay. Well, let me just see if you can do top 5. Let's make it a game. This is. Can you name top 5
in any particular order?
Any order, and then I'll give them to you.
LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jason Tatum.
You got 2.
Fuck. Which 2 did I get? Nikola Jokic. Why did I skip Jokic?
LeBron
we were just talking about him.
And Luka.
Of course.
So you've got
Jokic.
Luka is number 1, and LeBron's at number 3.
Yeah, Luka. Those stats are unfair, man. Luka had his Dallas jerseys and then his fresh LA jerseys too. He can fuck off. He should have an asterisk next to his name. He did jersey steroids on those sales.
So I'll just name it because I was actually surprised. Steph Curry is 2. Jason Tatum is 4. Jalen Brunson is 5. So, and the rest the rest of them are new people. Jokic is 10.
Really?
Yeah. So then Shai's above him. Then you got John Morant, Anthony Edwards, and Victor.
Jalen Brunson actually makes a lot of sense because of where he plays.
And all of them do. So does Victor. So does Anthony Edwards, John Morant. I understand all of them. I don't understand, and the reason I brought this up is LeBron and Steph Curry. If you don't already have one of their jerseys, who the fuck is buying?
Yeah.
Who's buying their jerseys? I don't believe that there's that many incoming NBA fans with the decline of the NBA fans to where they're like, yep, I want to buy all these LeBrons and stuff. I don't believe it.
Is Anthony Edwards up there?
Yeah, he was number 7.
Okay.
Just ahead of John Morant and just behind Victor.
Yeah. Dude, this is going to age me for a second. The first couple times you said Victor, I said, ain't no fucking way Victor Oladipo is still selling jerseys.
No.
It's Wembanyama. It took me a minute to think. I was like, who the fuck is he talking about? Like, I don't think Victor Oladipo plays. I know Victor Oladipo doesn't play. He's an analyst now, right?
I don't know if he's an alien. I thought he played overseas, so that shows how little I know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I just found that interesting, and I don't understand the LeBron and Steph Curry because, like you said, where have you been? What are you doing?
Yeah, no, for real. You've been living under a rock or something? Yes.
Unless there are just that many bandwagoners that are like, oh, I need to get all these new jerseys that are coming out. just to have them.
Yeah,
You know
like
what I
a
mean?
collector. Yeah. Maybe before these guys retire, fuck, I gotta get one.
See, what's funny is it used to make like I used to get collecting jerseys. I used to want to do it. Now you can't. It's too much of a marketing ploy. There's too many jerseys. People switch teams too often. It doesn't mean as much as what it used to.
Even when they don't switch teams, they switch numbers. Do you remember LeBron switch? So he went to LA, he wore 23, switched to 6, switched back to 23.
Yeah, did shitty in 6 and was like, yeah, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, it like.
Was 6 what he won the bubble with? Did
No,
they win the
I
bubble?
don't think so. I think 23 was the bubble. Switched back to 6, then Bill Russell died, and then they retired 6 everywhere. And then they told the people, they were like, if you already have 6, you can keep it. And then LeBron was like, no, I'm going back to 23 so I can sell some more jerseys. That's not what he said like publicly, but that's what he thought. You know,
That's what he talked to his wife about.
Yeah, because whenever he heard about that, he was like, I don't care. I don't care who died. I'm still wearing my jersey. And then he's like, wait a minute, I can still sell more of them.
Yep. Oh, that's too funny. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, let's just get into it. Let's you go ahead into it. I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Yeah, dude, you're good. You're good. We got fuck. I don't like looking at the Western Conference play-in tournament. I'm gonna say that. So the original playoffs before the play-in were 1 through 8. You know that. I don't know if you're looking at the standings right now like I am.
I had them.
I can send you a screenshot of what I'm looking at right now. And we can look at how far 9 and 10 are behind everybody else in the West. So 7 and 8, the Warriors and the Grizzlies are playing the play-in tournament. By the way, they have to do this play-in tournament to make it to the playoffs. They are 8 games ahead of 9th place, both of them. They are 48 and 34. That's a playoff record. You can make the playoffs to 48 wins. But to get there, they have to outlast these scrubs, the Kings and the Mavericks, who are below 500. Why the fuck do they deserve an opportunity to get into this playoff? Like, I think this play-in tournament should have some exceptions. Like, I think it's got to have like a range. Like, if you're not within 5 games of 8, then you can eat shit. I don't think you belong anywhere near the playoffs.
That doesn't. See, that just goes into what I said. I said a bunch. One of the episodes there. They need to stop doing shit for ratings and just make it fair. If you go low on ratings, who cares? That's just your league dying.
Yeah.
That happens.
But now you look at the East, and it makes sense. Dude, these guys are tight-knit. Like, 7 through 10 are within 4 games. Orlando's got 41 wins. Atlanta's got 40. Chicago's got 39. Miami's got 37. That makes sense. But whenever you're 9th and 10th place are 8 games behind 7th and 8th, they should eat shit. They should hit the road. They should not be playing playoff basketball. They shouldn't have a chance to play playoff basketball. They don't deserve to play playoff basketball. They're bad. They're bad in a good conference, and they can't scrape. They're scraping 500, but they're not even getting it.
That's where it goes to. That's why they need to cancel it. They're in a good conference, so like that's the difference. But sorry, that's why the East needs to step up their games, and that's why the end of the season needs to matter. That's why those teams that are actually in 7th, 8th, and 9th place play till the very last game with their best players, so that they ensure that, oh my gosh, I need to make this top 8. Like, I need to make this top 8. It's got, and you just, I don't know. It does exactly that. It takes away nobody cares except for the fans of those teams.
Yeah. Yeah, you're 100% right. Nobody cares except for the fans of those teams. And I want Dallas to get smoked. I have no personal problem with Dallas, but I don't think that with that GM that they have that tossed up a generational player for free should not be scraping the playoffs. He shouldn't touch that shit. With 39 wins that he barely got, by the way, because he traded arguably the best player in the world to the most mainstream team in the world with the former best player in the world alongside of him. Like, that asshole doesn't deserve to play playoff basketball. That guy can fuck off.
Yeah, he doesn't need any more money, and that's all it is for teams. It's more money.
No, yeah, it's nuts. I think they need an exception to this play-in thing. I think if you're 8 goddamn games behind 8th place, you shouldn't have a chance. Now, if you're in the East and it's within 2 games, fine. They're all bad. But I think all in all, they need to get rid of the conferences, at least for playoff seeding. Like keep the conferences for scheduling, just for the sake of making travel easier on the people. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if you know how the thing's set up, but you got division rivals, I think 4 times a year. You got non-division conference rivals 3, and then you've got opposite conference 2. I think is how that works. It might not be like those numbers to a T, because I don't know what all those add up to, and I'm not going to do the math. But pretty sure it's you play your division 4 times, 2 at home, 2 away. You play non-division conference 3 times, and you play out of conference twice. So for scheduling purposes, they should keep the conferences, because you don't want people. You don't want to watch a primetime game where these people are on the second half of a back-to-back, and they just flew from New York to fucking Los Angeles, and they're playing a game 24 hours apart from each other. I don't think you want that. I think that gets shitty. That's whenever you get a bunch of extra rest and stuff like that. So keep the conferences for the sake of scheduling, but when you get to the playoffs, if you have one conference where your worst team in the top 8 has 48 wins, you look at the East, like, there would have been 5 teams make the playoffs in the West. If the teams that were in the East were in the West, there would be. I just think it's so imbalanced. But then again, I guess you run into that imbalance in the playoffs too. But
yeah,
it's so crazy just that the West is so historically stacked, and the East is not. And then anytime an Eastern Conference team wins the finals, it always feels like people try to put that asterisk next to it, like, oh, well, they had a cakewalk to the final. They always do. Get rid of the fucking conferences. Make it 1 through 16. Get rid of the conferences for playoff seeding. Your best plays your worst. You alternate that all the way until you meet in the middle. And you just do 16. You scrap the play-in tournament. Fuck that nonsense. It's stupid.
You could make it a lot more even by just going north-south.
You actually
I guess they probably did that so that it didn't seem racist.
Yo, you're probably right. Yeah, they didn't want the Confederate States of the National Basketball Association.
No, that's what it would have been. It would have been the CBA to the. It was the CBA to the. Bro, yes. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, but yeah, I think you got to get rid of this East and West seeding, because nobody fucking like. Why is the East always so bad? Yeah. I guess if you look at the West teams, you can see why. You have just places people want to go. You got Houston. You got Houston. Yeah. You've got 2 LAs. You've got Golden State, who now plays in San Francisco. You've got Dallas. You've got Phoenix. And then in the East, you got New York.
Miami.
Yeah, and Miami. And even Miami is, like, not huge. It's just popular. But nobody's trying to go to Cleveland.
No.
You know, whenever Cleveland builds a team, they draft that shit.
Yeah, it's ironic. Nobody's trying to go to New York now either.
No, which is nuts. I would want to go to New York. If I was a basketball player, I would be itching to play my home games. I'd be itching to play 41 games a year in MSG. And I'd live across the bridge in New Jersey, and I would fucking take my trip every day.
Well, yeah, you are a millionaire, so you don't have the average person woes that, come with life.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Well, with that, let's just go. I'm just going to be a bandwagoner. I think the Cavs are going all the way.
Dude, I hope so bad, man. I'd be so excited.
I'm going to say Cavs all the way, and I think that they'll win in the finals in 6 games against the Thunder.
You think so? You think it'll be Cavs Thunder in the finals? I hope so. I saw a post today that pissed me off. I wouldn't be able to find it, but it said like path to the finals, East versus West, and the West was like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and it had like all of the West like killers, and it had like it was edited to where it looked like they were in hell, and it was a really cool edit. And then it said the East, and it was just Jason Tatum, and I'm like, he's not even on the fucking number 1 team in the East. Like, what? Put Donovan Mitchell on there at least. Like,
yeah.
Jason Tatum's not even on the best team in the East. How are you
don't
going to say
agree with
he's
that.
got the easiest walk when he didn't even walk in there that easy? Like, yeah, he's number 2, but who
The
cares?
Cavs, the Cavs are ranked first in points per game, first in offensive rating, second in field goal percentage, third in three-point percentage, first in efficiency of field goal, and first in transsexual percentages. So
I don't
that
think you.
is.
I don't think you said the right word there.
It says TS. It, it says TS percentage.
I'll take it. You know
transsexual
what? I
percentages.
got you.
So, if that's true, then yeah, it's sorry. Jason Tatum he doesn't have a walk in. I give the the Celtics are the only people in the East that I'm worried about for the Cavs. So I'm not downplaying him at all. They are the former champions.
Yeah.
They deserve all right, but the Cavs statistically are proving to me that, hey, it'd be better to bet on them and to get your hopes up than to not.
Yeah.
And so I'm getting my hopes up because the Steelers did the opposite for me this season. And, well, about halfway through, they made me sad.
Yeah. There's a thing I do want to say about the Cavs. This might be a controversial take. This might be, if there was any quote on this show that we ever do, this might be the one that makes it go viral. I think this is the most whole Cavs team that's ever existed. That's
All around?
all around, all around in terms of a basketball team. I'm not saying that they're the most skilled team because you've got the LeBron teams, you've got LeBron, Kyrie, Kevin Love, but well-rounded whole team. This is what you've got. You've got your main scorer, you've got Donovan Mitchell, you've got your facilitator Darius Garland, who's also scoring. You know what I mean? He's got a good little balance. He's a fucking really good point guard. You have Evan Mobley, who's Defensive Player of the Year contender.
Rebounding.
Yeah. You've got Jarrett Allen, who's fucking unstoppable. Super reliable. Played all 82 games this year. This is the most, I'm not saying it's the best Cavs team ever, but it's the best whole Cavs team ever. They might not have LeBron-level stars, but they've got a 1 through 5 that should scare the shit out of every other starting 5 in the league.
That I'm glad you pointed it out because it's the first time since the 04-05 Pistons that I think there's been a team that actually has a real possibility of winning that is not superstar led or 2-man led.
Yeah, the Spurs that beat the Heat, I think, are up there with that. Because
Mono
because
was
they
a role player and he was important.
Now I don't want to say the first Spurs that beat the Cavs. The first Spurs that beat LeBron, that was Tim Duncan. That was
Talking about in 07.
07, yeah, that was Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan's one of the best of all time. You might get some dipshit kids these days that might try to tell you, David, he does get slept on because he didn't do a bunch of schoolyard bullshit, but he was one of the best basketball players of all time. By the time he got older, that was a whole team effort. That it was either 2013 or 2014, something like that, right?
2013.
13, and then
Or 2014, because 2013
because Mavs won in 11, Heat won back-to-back in 12-13, and then Spurs won 14. That's right. And then the Warriors dynasty started after that. So they they fucking dude, this might be one of the most whole teams that you've seen. It's not star-studded like what the Thunder could have had with KD, Westbrook, and James Harden. It's not star-studded like Kyrie and LeBron, but it's a whole team. It's a whole team, and it's 5 guys that know their role, and that role fits to construct a fucking murderous basketball team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they each have their that's the best thing is that they're not the game has become less about fundamentals and more about I need to make sure that I'm on this level on everything instead of really understanding that oh wow, role players can be the star players if they're the best in their role. And that's what I see with this team, and that's honestly it's what I kind of see with a lot of basketball in general. It's getting more back to fundamentals, and it's less about the me stars. You don't have, I don't know. It's less about the names And it's because people like us fans are seeing that and recognizing that. We're having the conversations about how much LeBron is getting covered and how much these people are getting covered a specific topic is. And look at freaking college football, and nobody can say anything about college football other than Shador Sanders and Travis Hunter. Like,
yeah! These guys getting their jerseys retired for nothing.
That's on my thing to talk about. I wanted to ask your opinion because that was mine, and I said, you know what? I don't know college football. Maybe I need to step back. They have not, in my opinion, they have not been there long enough. They have not done...
They haven't done fucking enough. They sucked.
And they probably were...
They suck. I don't care how good they were. They were great. I'm not going to take anything away from those kids. They're fucking phenomenal. They didn't win. They sucked ass. They fucking flopped hard. Dude,
that upset me so much whenever I screenshotted it because I was like, I need to remember to just make sure that I'm not out of line for being like, because I know sports even though I'm not an athlete or don't pay attention to that stuff. You know, I know football very well and I know college athletics and I can tell that's not deserving, bro. There's no way that's deserving. And I don't
no, they're great athletes. Even if they are the best athletes that went through the University of Colorado, they didn't win. They like nobody. You know what was their? Let's see their record for the past 2 years.
I could even make the argument. You know what? Say Travis Hunter, yes. Sanders, no. Heck no. He does not in any way deserve to be, for the simple fact of his is only a name given one.
Yeah.
Like, they can't retire Coach Prime's number because he doesn't have one. So they're going to give it to... I don't understand it. Because at least Travis Hunter is a one-of-one player. He is unique.
Yeah, he's very good.
Is not. I don't even think Sanders is the best quarterback in the draft.
He's not.
Getting taken because they need that name and publicity. Because just like Bronny James, the name brings money with sales.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So in these guys, 2 years they were together, right? 2 years that they were together and played like consistently. And even if it was 3 years, if it's 3 years, it makes it worse. So in 2022, I think before these guys grew and made their name, they might have been on the team, but if they were on the team, they were young, they were freshmen, they weren't doing much. 1-11. Their first year, 2023, 4-8. And then this year, 2024, 9-4. 9-4, which means
with a bowl loss.
With a bowl loss, and I'm pretty sure they got fucking smoked in that bowl game. I'm pretty sure
they did.
If I remember correctly, there's a lot of bowl games. Yeah, they lost 36-14 against BYU. Like,
the only reason I knew that is because they're the only team that gets freaking covered, bro. And it's not even the team that gets covered; it's just those two.
Yeah,
and it just goes back to our upsets with sport, all the conversations we've had, bro. It's just.
And then, Belichick's going back to coaching this year. He's going to coach at UNC, and I bet he's going to get some coverage too. But you know what the difference is going to be? He's going to get some fucking wins.
I've already seen coverage from him, bro. They said, "Oh, look, I saw a video today or yesterday about Coach Belichick's fucking 20-year-old girlfriend."
Oh yeah. That's the only coverage I see from him. But you know, whenever fucking football rolls around and he starts coaching again, he's gonna win games. He's Coach Belichick.
Especially in their conference. They're North Carolina. Not that North Carolina's not good, but college isn't NFL or pros. College is all done on your standings, so you can be in a different.
Yeah, they're in the ACC too. Like they're in the ACC, which is not a weak conference by any means. But with Belichick, they're going to be fine. They're going to get good recruits coming to that team.
I guess that's not bad. Who do they have?
The ACC. They got. I don't
like a top few teams.
Without looking it up, I know they got. I know they got Duke, obviously, which is not usually a good football team. They got. UNC's in there, which is who we're talking about. Virginia Tech. Let's see.
Okay. Well, that gives me it. I was seeing if I could remember. I forget what
Clemson
are. It'll just be cool to see him in a college atmosphere because what this will do more than most for Belichick will either solidify it as like, okay, no, I helped develop Brady into what he is, or it'll end up giving Brady all the credit for everything the Patriots have done.
That is true too. Yeah, let's see. He's got Wake Forest, he's got Virginia, Syracuse, Stanford, SMU, Pitt, Notre Dame doesn't count. They're independent in football. That's probably basketball only. Miami, Louisville, Georgia Tech, Florida
That'll
State, Duke, Clemson, Cal Berkeley, and Boston College. Like
that's a pretty good conference.
that's a pretty reasonable conference. Yeah, but
Yeah.
like he can do well in it. It's no SEC. You know what I mean?
And he's Bill Belichick.
And he's Bill Belichick. He'll find a way, even if it's
Yeah.
not legal.
Yeah, he's going to teach these kids a thing or two for the NFL, too. That's the biggest thing. I wonder if there will be a difference in the players that come out of North Carolina over the next few years comparative to, the rest of the college.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to shift over to some more football. I think it's a good time for that. I think it's time to talk about the Steelers. The draft's coming up fucking real soon. I think this might be actually about the best way this plays out, and I think this is the only way I agree with getting Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if they want to do it, but I saw somebody that said they should do it. I don't know his name. I'm not going to bother to look it up. It's going to take too much time. But it was from ESPN. It's talking about the Steelers should sign Aaron Rodgers and draft a quarterback in at least the first 3 rounds. And I think I like that. Because I think if you do it, you don't draft one in round 1. I think you draft him in round 2, and then you give him a year behind Rodgers. You don't throw him into the fire.
Let him learn.
I think getting thrown into the fire in Pittsburgh is a recipe for disaster.
It is, because we've seen it with Pickett, unfortunately.
Yeah. The only person that could do it was Ben. And at that point, was he even in the fire? They were bad. Like, they were not good. They were hot off of Cordell Stewart. You know what I mean?
And no offense to our offense, the offense was a juggernaut, just like the defense.
Yeah.
So, like, outside of him, like, they had people pretty consistently. I don't know anything about NFL. I haven't paid attention to the draft, kind of purposely, because I just wait to see the results, and then I make my mind up on what I think about it. But I like that plan. That's just because I'm all for development of players, because I think that's the only way that in professional standards you can really make that jump and succeed is through development. And although he sucked the last 4 years, he's a Super Bowl champion and an MVP, and he's got a lot of experience under his belt, so that wouldn't be a bad person to be behind.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's the route they go. If they get Aaron Rodgers, I don't want them to get Aaron Rodgers, but if they get him, they've got to pick somebody. You can't just pick Aaron Rodgers and be like, all right, we got our answer for now. Like,
Have Mason Rudolph as your backup.
Right, yeah. I just don't see it working well, but I'm hoping it goes with that. And then, you know what? That's all I wanted to sprinkle in there about the Steelers. And I think this is a good transition over to our little list of questions. I made another one. I think this one's pretty good. I only have one this week, but it's kind of got some long answers to it potentially. So
Okay.
But I do want to throw this little net out there and see what I can get from you. So if you could pick one arena from every sport, and by every sport I mean baseball, basketball, and football. I'm not including hockey because quite often basketball and hockey share the same ones. And on top of that, you don't watch hockey. I don't really watch it either. So if you could pick one arena from every sport that you haven't been to, what would it be?
So, even though they're probably my most hated team, football would be Dallas Stadium.
Really?
Yeah. Not for a game, but for a night event, like a concert or something. I'd like to experience that stadium for like a 5-hour concert. Because I think that position-wise it's bad, but what it offers is so cool, and I think being in there for anything, it could be a comedy show, music. I don't know. My grandma on stage knitting. I'm telling you, man, you put that mic up to her and it would be good.
Nice.
Jesus would come out those needles. So.
All right. So that's your football. Is the Cowboy Stadium, huh?
Football is Cowboys Stadium. If I had to go to baseball, I'm going to choose this field. Well, I guess you said because of the field. Well, you know what? Also because of the field. Because of the location, but because of the field itself. I've always heard through social media that the San Diego Padres Stadium is
Petco
really,
Park. I've heard that too. That
cool
wouldn't have been my answer. That wouldn't have been my answer, but I have heard that too. I like that. That's a good one.
And I don't know. I've just heard that it's nice, and I've just seen pictures. I can't think of anything in mind. But I would also like to visit San Diego, so to also know that, hey, one of the best ballparks there is outside of PNC is on the West Coast. So it gives me that extra reason.
We did really get blessed with PNC for it to be over here. I mean, like I hate to have the home bias here because I got the pirate shit behind me, but yeah, PNC is a very good park. Like I've been to a couple. I haven't been to a ton. PNC blows the other two that I've been to out of the water. Like,
yeah,
it's hands down. Like PNC's a better park, both view wise. There's not a bad seat in that stadium. I've told everybody that. Like, you can go no matter what seat you buy. You have a terrific view of the game. Mm-hmm. You have in the backdrop of the field. It's crazy. It's insane to look at. It makes Pittsburgh look really good.
Because in the after show theatrics, the fireworks and stuff, that helps light the city up because it's like, wow. Even if you leave the game and you're on the bridge when they start going off or when they're going off, you're like, you look back and you see the park and you're like, wow, that's a moment.
I will be there for the fireworks Friday. So the day this is out. So if anybody watches that, it will be tonight, and then but real time it will be in a couple days. But yeah, I will be there for the first firework night of the year, I believe. So
heck yeah, that's awesome. Heck yeah. For NBA, so if I was going for just new age and experience, it would be the Clippers. Just because they have the newest facility and
it's very nice.
What they're offering is such an experience for the viewers, for the fan. But basketball is my life and like my passion underneath everything, and so I've got to go with with something that like would like being in the building and being in the seat would actually make me feel something. Like, not necessarily saying it wouldn't bring a tear to my eye, but I would feel emotions with it. So it would be hard to choose between the Knicks Stadium and TD Garden up in Boston.
Yep. MSG and TD Garden. The MSG is just spoiler. MSG was my pick for basketball. That's because I've been to the Q, which it's not fantastic. It's not bad. It's just not fantastic. I've been to the Q a few times for a few different things. That's the one in Cleveland, which is my favorite basketball team. But yeah, like the MSG is on my bucket list for sure. For literally anything, I don't care what it's for. It's just a historic like event place. You know what I mean? It's Madison Square fucking Garden. That's one I think that I can't leave out.
Yep. So those two for sure, and I can't really pick one because either one like. They each hold something special, or I guess like they hold the same value and meaning to me, and they would bring the same feelings and emotions to me. But it's like they're each historic for their own, you know. Yeah. So, and honestly, in terms of actual basketball fans, I fucking hate the Celtics and the Knicks, so I don't care.
I hate the Celtics. I don't hate the Knicks. I almost feel bad for them because they haven't they're not a bad team, but they haven't won anything in so long that it kind of sucks for them because they're in New York. You know what I mean? New York just like wins at least at something. I guess they do in baseball, not anymore, but they tried. God bless them.
They got all the teams. They got hockey, soccer. They got enough. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, they will figure it out eventually. They have two of every goddamn thing. So yeah, they if they're not champions in something eventually, then it'll be baseball before it'll be anything because the Yankees are still the Yankees. Even if they haven't won a World Series since 2008, they're still the Yankees. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what are yours, man? What are your? We know your basketball. What are your baseball and your football?
My basketball is definitely the Garden. It doesn't necessarily have to be for basketball. It could be for anything. Like I said, I'd really like to go to. As anybody who's seen this has known, I've in the past year or so, I've watched a good bit of live wrestling shows. I'd like to attend one at the Garden. They do some good ones at the Garden. But I'd like to see a basketball game there. It's really cool. That's my basketball one. For football, I'm going a little more new school. In terms of football stadium, I don't want to say I'm not real big on history. It's just that historic ones are few and far between. They've done so many new ones. It's a toss-up. It's between Allegiant Stadium in Vegas and SoFi in Inglewood, which is what the Rams use. The Rams and probably also who's the other one? The Chargers? Yeah, the Chargers are LA. Yeah, I don't know if they both use that, but it's the new SoFi Stadium that LA uses. I would have to say Allegiant Stadium, just for the sake of making a Vegas trip out of it. It's right next to the Sphere. It's pretty cool. I don't know if it's right next to the Sphere, but it's not far from the Sphere.
I forgot about them, and I have to say, I think Dallas would still be mine because there's so much more I could do in Dallas and enjoy. Because in Vegas, I'd just be scared about losing money.
Right.
But you mentioning that, I would have to put that. That has to be, like, if I were to look through the list, I'm not going to say it's number 2, but I would say it has to be in my top 3. Just because it is one of the nicest fields that there is as well.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It is one of the placed, and especially during day games, dude, when the sun's just hitting down on everybody, that would be an incredible experience.
Yeah.
I didn't think about them. That's a great choice.
And then in baseball, I'm going not new school. I'm going very old school. And again, it's a toss-up, but I think I have my for sure answer. I guess I'll give my runner-up first. My runner-up's Wrigley Field in Chicago. My Wrigley Field in Chicago is super old. It's got the ivy on the wall, the outfield wall. It's its own stadium. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's its own type of animal, which is really cool, and it's historic. It's old. It's old as shit. But that's my runner-up. Number 1's Fenway.
Fenway Park, really?
Because Fenway is older than dirt, bro. Fenway is 100+ years old. I think it opened in 1907 or some shit like that. I gotta look that up.
Bro, I didn't even think about Fenway, and I like the historicness of stuff.
Yeah, it's also got the Green Monster, which, regardless of how old that stadium is, that's something I want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have that picture. Yeah, that would be cool.
Let's see. 1912. 1912 is when Fenway opened.
Yeah, so 113 years old.
Yep. It is the oldest active ballpark in the major leagues. So, yeah, I'd have to go with Fenway. Fenway is super cool. It's like, even if it wasn't older than dirt, it's still got the monster that's Boston exclusive. That's not anywhere else. No other field has the monster. It can be, imitated but never duplicated. They got the spring training monster down in wherever the fuck Florida that they play for spring training, but yeah. It's not the Fenway Green Monster. Like, that's just something I want to see. So many, and on top of that, it's Fenway. So many legendary moments happened at Fenway. You know what I mean? The Red Sox breaking the curse, coming back from that 3-0 deficit against the Yankees. What was that, 04? It was either 04 or 07. It was 04. Because that was their first World Series in like 100+ years. And they, but to get there, they were down 3-0. Came back against the Yankees. Part of that was at Fenway. There's so much crazy shit has happened at Fenway. So much crazy shit from my childhood that I've seen has happened at Fenway. David Ortiz, Dustin Pedroia, 2 of my favorite baseball players ever. Fenway. They're basically their whole careers. Dustin Pedroia's entire career. Yeah. I got to go Fenway. So that's
I love that.
Yeah, that's my 3. The Garden in New York, Madison Square Garden in New York, Allegiant Stadium in Vegas, because Vegas, and it's super nice. And then back to going historic with Fenway Park.
You schedule it there in the fall, and you can hit basketball and baseball in the same weekend.
I actually could. I'm not sure if I want to pay for tickets to Madison Square Garden, but yeah, I could definitely at least hit Fenway. Fenway's an entire possibility. Yeah, they have a lot of games going on.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, dude. I like that. Yeah, I didn't really think. I don't know. It would be really interesting for me to sit down and like read a whole list and look at the pictures and be like, I don't know. Maybe I would because right now I'm just going off of what's on my head.
Yeah.
But I think that's the best because it shows our gut feelings. Yeah, that's funny. That's good.
Dude, another stadium that I guess it's not a possibility, but I don't know if you've ever heard of the Polo Grounds in New York. It's an old stadium that back whenever the Giants, the baseball Giants, the San Francisco Giants, whenever they were New York, they played in this stadium called the Polo Grounds. It's on a lot of the video games. I think it's on all the video games, all the MLB The Show games. The dimensions of this field are fucking crazy. They don't make any sense. It's a big oval. The baseball field is a big oval. It's they call it the bathtub. They called it the bathtub. It is not around anymore. It's long gone. But the left field pole was 275 feet from home plate. 79 feet from home plate. That's high school distance. Right field, 258 feet.
Holy.
Take a wild guess at what center field was.
293?
483. This field's crazy looking. I have obviously never seen like real life. I've only seen pictures of it because it doesn't exist anymore and hasn't for quite a while. But I've seen it on the video games, and it's the craziest looking fucking thing I've ever seen. I'll send you a picture of it right now. Let's see.
That has to be a fucking 50-degree angle.
Yeah, it's a big square. The bullpens are in fair play, I'm pretty sure. where they warm up their pitchers, I believe is in fair play. You'd have to look at this picture to tell for sure. It didn't let me save the picture.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy, bro. That's ridiculous. That would be interesting to see for sure, but I'm trying to think, if you're going from 250 to 4 to over 400, you're cutting yourself in what? Let's see, 35%.
Yeah, dude, it's nuts. Here, I'm sending an overhead shot of it to you right now. It's still in black and white and everything, but you can see.
What the? What the heck?
That thing is crazy. That's the most football-shaped baseball field I've ever seen in my life.
Bro, that angle...
It's a big U.
That angle of attack on... between, out of bounds at third base in center field, that is insane.
Yeah, anybody that hit a center field home run was fucking 1930 style juicing. They were just drinking fucking horse electrolytes and smoking crack, hitting home runs.
Bro,
center field.
Heck? That is insane.
I want them to recreate that so bad. I want them to just recreate that somewhere. It doesn't have to be New York. I don't care where it is. It can be in the middle of a field in fucking Nebraska for all I care. Rebuild that stadium somewhere and play like a series of games on it throughout the season. Like that would be so cool.
Damn.
It's so crazy looking, it doesn't even make fucking sense. It's a huge oval. They call it the bathtub. That's the shape it is. It is a bathtub. It's just big and long and square.
That is crazy. Well, we'll just keep... I like the sports thing right now. We'll keep with sports. First of all, congratulations, Rory McIlroy. on winning winning yourself the Masters there and completing the golf version of whatever it is, the Grand Slam or whatever. It has been a long time coming, and that is very awesome, and I'm very excited for you. So congratulations. With that, I have a couple things from it, and one thing that most people don't know about golf is that golf is all about traditions, and there's no traditions or no place more traditional than the Masters. And ticket prices, everything is increased, but one thing that doesn't, especially at the Masters, are rules, regulations, and food costs.
Let's go.
So with that, you won't find cheaper food at a gas station.
Yeah, this is nuts. I thought that when I first saw this, I thought it was like a hypothetical list, because I've seen this picture too.
Yeah,
I thought it was like a hypothetical list. These are actual prices of shit at this event?
these are their real prices.
That's sick. That is awesome.
Yes.
I'm sitting here trying to concoct my own order right now.
I'm pretty sure these are their, because I've also always heard about their prices, and I literally watched a video during this year's talking about, we got all this for $20, and it was a handful. So it fed 2 people. So it had to be. But I'll throw it up on the screen just so everybody can see. But Wyatt, what would your $10 order at the Masters be?
Oh, man.
And how would you go about it? How would you go about making sure that, this order either filled you up or made you through the day, or just lasted until you were like, you know what, I can make it till afterwards?
It's tough because the alcohol is very steeply priced compared to everything else, so that's what makes the order tough. But I'm going with the white wine. I'm at the Masters. I'm going with the white wine for sure. That takes up half of my menu, but that's fine. That's okay. So that's $6. I'm going with my white wine. Other than that, it's because I'm a cheapskate, so I'm spending all of my money, and I'm not wasting any, and I'm not getting any more out. So if I only have $10 to eat with here, I'm getting my white wine, and then I'm getting 2 blueberry muffins. Straight up. Now, if I were willing to waste money, I'm getting a white wine and a chicken biscuit, because I'm a big breakfast guy. I like biscuits. I like chicken. But that leaves me $1 to waste. There's not a dollar item on this menu. There's $1.50. There's $1.75. There's not just a dollar item on this menu. So I've got to go with the white wine, the 2 muffins. If I'm willing to waste $1, I'm going with a white wine and a chicken biscuit.
Yeah. Okay. That's very different than me, so that's hilarious, and I like it. That shows the variety that individuals would choose. So me personally, you're right. First of all, it's a golf event. You can't not be drinking. Context, though, I know that I'm going to the Masters. I've been drunk for 3 weeks.
I woke up drunk. I got dressed drunk. I drove there drunk. Somehow.
I was drunk before I stepped on grounds. So.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Alcohol's taken care of. I just need something to soak me up. So first of all, I'm going to need water to make it through the day, but my water's not getting cracked at least until 2 hours in when I'm dying of thirst. So we're just going to go right to it. I'm drunk. I know myself. I can't say no to some meat, so I'm going to get me a pulled pork sandwich right off to just start. And I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm going to need me a little bit of something. So I'm then going to grab the chips. Okay, so that's at $4.
No, you're $4.50.
Okay. And holy shit, look at me. I'm Justin. I'm right back to the meat. Okay, another pulled pork barbecue. So there's $7.50. And you know what? I still got a little bit of my water left, but I need something juicy, so I'm going to finish it off with the fresh fruit at the end of the day to give me a little bit of natural sugars and also a lot of juices in fruit. So that's my $10 and my perfect meal.
Yeah.
For a day at the Masters, that's Justin's $10 meal. Now, in context, understanding the amount of food that this is, or the cost of this food that is on the screen here for everybody, I would spend about $60 on all of that 6 times.
I would spend $60 on about 10 of those Crow's Nest beers. That's what
Actually,
I would do if I was there.
Realistically, yeah, if I had $50, I would get a Crow's Nest, I would get a bunch of waters, and then another Crow's Nest, and then some chips, and a bunch of barbecue.
Yeah, you turn me loose with $100 at this event, I'm going to the fucking hospital.
Oh my god. No, I'd still be too drunk. I wouldn't buy any beer. So it really would just be all food, and then I'd have some casino money for that night.
Yeah.
So
yeah, sure. Surely they don't have metal detectors at the Masters. Yeah, I'm sneaking in some pocket shooters. Yeah, I'm getting just pocket Tito's out the wazoo with my fucking. I'm wearing my cargo shorts and my my Pirates pullover, my Pirates short sleeve pullover that I always wear golfing with the big pocket in the middle of it.
Yep.
I'm walking into that bitch with about 14 Tito's shots, pre-bottled shots in my pockets.
Oh. Well, we'll just continue with golf. This is my last golf thing that I really have to talk about. So Wyatt, I just sent you. These are on screen now. Everybody can Google these and you'll find them.
For a second, I thought they were Heelys.
So these are, that would be a lot cooler.
That would be.
These are a new golf shoe released by Nike. It's a partnership between Nike and Justin Timberlake. Yeah, I like that face that you made, so that plays into what I'm about to say.
Yeah, that was weird.
Last week I complained about $250 shoes from the greatest golfer that ever lived. And this man in Nike is charging over $500 for this pair of golf shoes from a not golfer that is not the best golfer that ever lived, or the best singer, or the best man, or the best anything.
Or the best human being.
He's not the best anything. He's great at a lot, but he's not a golfer. So why the fuck is his golf shoe that much?
Does he golf at all? I didn't know Justin Timberlake was a golfer.
I'm sure it's a white man sport.
Ah, yeah, he is pretty white.
So I'm sure he does. But that right there, dude, I puked in my mouth when I saw that because, one, those are also ugly. But two, why?
God, they are ugly as fuck, though, aren't they?
They are just absolutely hideous. Yeah, absolutely hideous.
Wow, yeah. The more I look at those look like a steaming pile of horse shit. I wouldn't wear those anywhere, let alone golfing.
No. It just really upset me. So
like if I died and somebody buried me in those, I'd want you to set the casket on fire. Those look terrible.
Yes.
Those look rough. I wouldn't be caught dead or alive or anywhere in between in those shoes. Yeah, those suck balls.
So Nike, that's a shame on you. Or Justin Timberlake, you should have recommended a better design, first of all, you idiot. But that's about it for golf from me. Yeah.
We need to start a golf line.
I would love to.
We do need to. Like, the only thing we gotta do is not make the shit cost $1 bajillion, and I think we'll do okay.
Yeah.
Because if that's anything the past like 4 or 5 weeks of this podcast has taught me, is that these golfers overcharge the shit out of people for nothing.
Yep. Yeah, for absolutely nothing.
Like we could just make something, put something subtle and hilarious on it, and be all right.
One of my stickers designs that I had finished is even a golf glove doing the Shooter McGavin thing.
That's awesome.
So it would really play in. That's awesome. That would play in really well. Well, heck yeah. This before we can say our last thoughts, I guess we can wrap this one up here. This has been a great one, but this just plays into last week, and before it doesn't. Wyatt found and or created a fantastic Jonathan the Tortoise conversion chart, and
I didn't do that. I will give credit where it's due. We've been big anti-AI people, and I think this is a good teaching point to teach people stuff. So we've been hard on AI. AI art is lame. It sucks. It's effortless. It doesn't have any life to it. We have said there are good things to use AI for, and if you're going to convert a unit of measurement that you made up based off of a tortoise, and you don't feel like doing the math, you can go to AI, which is what I did to make this conversion chart. I'm glad you touched on it when we did, because I was about to touch on it if you didn't. But yeah, we last week discovered Jonathan's, which is let me find the table. Hold on, I got it here in my list of things.
For context, Jonathan is the, at least to my knowledge, the oldest living tortoise. Currently 190 years old, but when you add in the months, he's 190 plus.
Yeah.
So yeah.
193 is what we made the conversion chart off of. So that is what we made the conversion chart of. So we release an episode every .000994 Jonathans once a week.
Holy shit! We're about 1/1,000,000th of a Jonathan.
That is true. 100 years is barely over half of a Jonathan.
And it really could end up being half or less than half of a Jonathan.
One whole year is barely over 5% of one Jonathan. Yeah.
This is a fucking old turtle, bro.
Yeah. Wait a second. Hold on. I'm reading this very wrong.
1 year.
1 year is
almost half a percent. Point over.
Yep.
0.54.
That's right. 10 years. 10 years is barely over half of a Jonathan, is what I meant to say. Yeah, 10 years. So this guy is setting the standard for units of measurement.
That is.
Yeah, dude, Jonathan's taking the cake. Jonathan is I think the new official, unofficial mascot of the show. Jonathan, Tony.
Oh, 100%. With
Yeah.
that, I mean, I made this sticker. It was going to be a sticker, but I think it's going to be, I'll throw it up here, but I'm just going to go ahead and ask for your approval now. It's going to be a t-shirt design as well.
That is awesome. I would wear one of those right now.
I just feel
everywhere
like
that I go.
Our logo on the front with just Backroad Banter and then that blown up on the back would be powerful messaging.
Yeah, I think it would be even more powerful if we got him on the show.
I mean, I that's kind of what I'm doing now, is throwing out a feeler to the internet to kind of see if he'd be available anytime to. You know what? I would come to him.
Yeah. If they pay for us a trip, we can go visit Jonathan. We can interview Jonathan about his experiences.
Ask me at the right time, and I may come and do it for my own pleasure of interviewing a tortoise and somebody that has lived through everything to live through.
That is true.
If we got him to say even a word, billion views.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we could shake him down and get him fucking to start talking. But man, the Jonathan, that brought the whole thought of Jonathan brought something up to me though. It made me look something up while I was sitting at the bar a couple of hours ago, pre-gaming for this show.
Oh, Jonathan did?
Jonathan got me thinking of something. Yeah, he did. So Jonathan's old, which made me think, like, you and me, we like animals. We specifically like cats. You know what I mean? It got me looking up the world's oldest cats. This list is fucking bananas. Like, I don't believe it. Like, I don't think you would believe it. I barely believe it. So, apparently the oldest recorded living cat of all time, its name was Cream Puff. Cream Puff lived from August 3rd, 1967, until August 6th, 2005.
38 years?
38 years, 3 days. That woman, Cream Puff was a female in the United States.
What the? What?
Had to be miserable. Yeah, and then there's another one named. This one isn't like confirmed though, so all of these ones that I will say have been validated. According to this list, it says validated. There's one that's unvalidated. This is Baby. Was 37 to 38 years. That's unvalidated, so nobody knows. It was a male. Number 2 is Puss. It's 36 years and 1 day old. These are both tabby cats, the 2 oldest recorded ones. This one's he was a male from the UK. Ma lived from around May or June of 1923 to November of 57. 34 years, 5 months. Also a tabby cat. Female in the UK. Grandpa Rex Allen was owned by the same people that owned Cream Puff. The oldest cat ever. This bastard lived 34 years. Validated.
They had to be doing something to these cats.
Yeah.
There's no way. Or, no, they had to be doing something. Or they really knew the secret to a long life. Like, they had the perfect diet or workout for these cats to exercise them to live 3 times the normal length of a cat. Like, if you get 12 years out of your cat, you consider that lucky.
Yeah. I'd be pretty content with 12. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine getting a cat when I was 5 years old, and then right now being like, it's going to be any day, and that motherfucker still lives for another
15 years.
Yes, dude. I would literally have to call. I would probably take it. At this point, I'd be so skeptical. I'd be like, this dude's an alien.
Yeah, I'd be like, this isn't a cat.
There's no way.
This thing is a scroll or some shit. It's not a cat. This one's unverified, but this one apparently is still alive today. Born in 1987. Older than my brother. Because my brother was... But this is Great-Grandma Wad. Was that cat born Great-Grandma Wad? Did they know?
Yeah.
That it was
I bet
be,
they...
Yeah. I'm not buying that. We'll go to the next verified one. The next... Or validated. The next validated one, number 5. Its name is Kitty. And just short of 32 years. It was a female from the United Kingdom. It gave birth to a litter of 2 kittens at the age of 30. That's nuts. Number 6, I like this guy's name. He just died in recent history. Back right as we got out of high school, he died. Or right before he got out of high school, he died. Rest in peace, Scooter.
Pets shouldn't live that long.
Yep.
Pets should not live longer than the duration that they do.
Yeah, unless you're Jonathan.
Unless you're Jonathan, because you're supposed to outlive all of us. You might be Moses' pet, for all we know.
Here's another living one. This is verified too. It says Flossie. This is number 7. Still alive today. Born in 1995.
Bro, that is sad.
Yeah, that's
I
nuts.
feel so bad for cat. I don't see how they have any value of life at that point.
This one's so official that it's in the Guinness Book of World Records. Guinness World Records verified as oldest living cat.
That's what I would do with mine, is verify it with Guinness.
Yep. And we got a couple of unverified ones. Wadsworth and Banjo. They're both 27, apparently. And then Marduk is, or Marduk is 26. He's from New Zealand. But I thought that was pretty crazy.
That very much is so, and I don't know. It's got me feeling all types of things, because like, I'm not excited about old cats. I just feel like that'd be shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and, like, I've always said, like, I want Ollie to live forever, and then I'm like, 38.
I'm glad you mentioned... You know what? Me and Wyatt me and Wyatt have the best cats. We have multiple cats, but he has Ollie, who he claims, and I have Tony, who I claims. And just because I worked on this sticker, Wyatt, and this sticker is inspired by SpongeBob, because I know you enjoy SpongeBob so much, partially by...
That is sick, and the size comparison is tremendous. The only thing that I think could be swapped would be the faces, because I think Ollie would be the goddamn devious one, and then Tony's just like, all right, dude.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever I gotta do.
But I was going to send that to you there later anyways, because I need your help. I think it needs a number on it, on the boat. The boat car needs a number, but I don't know what number could be relevant to SpongeBob, because the only one I can think of is the joke of
25.
25 is funnier than 24 or whatever, but
They're close to the same age, aren't they?
probably.
I think Ollie and Tony are close to the same age.
I would assume so.
So Ollie was born in 18.
Tony was born in 2020.
Damn. Man, Ollie's fucking old, dude. How's he
Yeah,
old? Dude. Fuck. That's upsetting, dude. Ollie's 8 years old. Old bastard.
Dude, he's a man.
He is.
Man.
I was going to say a
That's
grown
so
man, but
funny.
he's not that grown. He's a little bastard, but he's a man.
When
Sort
you
of.
think of it, I tried thinking of. I thought what would be funny would be to do. You know how on SpongeBob they have the like curse words that are the dolphin noises.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be funny to find one of those and then just associate that number with it, but they never actually created those words. So
You could just put 9 on there. They're cats. That's how many lives they got, apparently.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 9.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thanks for finishing that.
Yeah, there you go.
That'll be well, heck yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Do you have a review for this week, dude? We can close her out with our reviews and any last second thoughts. You got a review? Anything you thought of? Or?
Man, I don't have a review. I was very unprepared this week, but I have something I want to show to you in exchange for the review, because I think this would be pretty cool. This would be cool as a collector. I know that I feel like you would be interested in this. I'm going to send this picture to you, and I want you to read this. So I guess now, in WWE, whenever guys make their debuts, they will have a patch on their ring gear. Whenever they're done with that match, they will have that cut out, and it's put on a 1-of-1 trading card.
I would very much be interested in that. You know who would be more interested in that is Dalton.
Dalton's been carding like a. Did you see the Earnhardt that he got? Yeah.
Me and him's been talking the past day about it. It is. We always hype each other up. I joked about it yesterday with him, but it would be a funny thing for me and him to open up a gold and silver and card shop, because I have a lot of sports and card stuff too.
Yeah.
But both of those hit a market that like just ask for money.
Yeah.
So it would be really funny. But Dalton is really so into that. That is cool. I would love to have that. I wouldn't care for that now because I'm not a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
But dude, if that would have came out in 2004 and I started, around 2007, 2008, I would have been all in. Like, those would have been cards that you wouldn't have gotten rid of, But they didn't really have those sort of things when we were around, not to that extent.
Mm-mm.
Like, not. That's so cool. That's so cool.
They're also, I believe, I read somewhere they're doing ones with everybody that is on the WrestleMania card this weekend, which is also kind of cool. Which makes me want to go and like just buy some packs to see if I can get one. Because there's going to be a shitload of people on that show. It'd be cool if I could get one. It's still very unlikely, but it would be a cool thing to stumble across.
Let me know exactly what packs they are, and I'll probably also pull the trigger.
Yeah, they're made by Topps. That much I know. But that is, it's not a review, but that's the closest thing I have to review, because that was the a little cool bit of information I found just a few hours ago. And I was like, oh, shit. I feel like, you're a collector. I feel like you'd like to hear about that. I know I would like to stumble across one just for shits and giggles, because they would be super rare, because I guess all of them are just 1-of-1s. It's going to be like the person's gear that you got it from. It's going to be their card. It's going to have a little square with the patch on it. And it's just like those cards that you see that's like it's got a chunk of the base.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or a chunk of somebody's glove.
I have a lot of stuff that is I have a lot of stuff like that. They're just from nobody, so they're not
right, yeah.
But yeah, I was really big into cards for a minute. I never got anything super, super cool. Just some nice, some basketball names. But that's cool. That right there would be a memento to keep. Also, because unless you're somebody that sells repeatedly, what's the point in selling that? Like, you're not gonna actually $100 for a card isn't gonna do you much, because you can be, I sold a card for $100.
Right.
Yeah, but now you don't have it. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good review, dude. You know what? My review. I'm going with some food this week. I'm gonna review Wild Protein Chips.
I bet those are fucking really good.
So these are absolutely delicious. There is under 800 calories in this entire bag, which usually are over 2,000 for a bag of chips.
Yeah.
The ingredients are,
I see it on the front.
primarily meat. When you eat this, it's weird. I've been eating them since last summer. Somebody introduced them to me. I eat them periodically. These things taste like you're eating a piece of meat a little bit. Like you get
Really?
you get the flavor of the potato chip if you do like flavor ones like this one's barbecue. But
Dude, they have a chicken and waffles flavored one.
dude, these chips make you feel like you're eating a meal, and you can literally eat a handful and be like, okay, I need a break. It's not like sitting down and eating Lay's or Doritos or anything.
Yeah, where you can do just an endless pit, like you can just down the whole bag and not feel anything. Yeah, I want to try to find some of these.
They're you could probably get them at Walmart. I think that might be where I got them.
That's where I'm seeing them right now online is Walmart. Yeah.
I recommend them for you and for anybody that's watching this because they're low on calories, high on protein, and it's a good alternative to a chip, and it helps mitigate. It's my favorite thing about whenever I was eating nothing but meat primarily. I mitigated my actual hunger because I realized I was full, and that stuff kind of does the same, or at least for short term does it.
Right.
So that's my review. I want to throw this in there. There's going to be a last second thought, but she deserves a little more. I'm officially I own art pieces, but usually they're stuff that I made. I bought my first piece of artwork last week, so I'm an art owner. I bought a ceramic work. This right here. It's a strawberry that obviously has a face, but it came from an entire fruit ceramic selection that was put on by a college student, a senior for her senior art show, and I'm just a huge strawberry man in terms of flavor. I think his face is just funny because like I've made that face plenty of times. And I felt a lot from it, and then also I have a connection to this student because the student is a worker of ours. But I think she's talented, and I'm excited to have this eventually displayed in my real podcast studio whenever I have a house and stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah, that is pretty cool.
I just think it'll be back there. So Emily Rosales, once you become famous, I want to buy more stuff. But
yeah. I want to buy stuff before you become famous because I feel like you make good work. So,
she does. I have about 4 stickers on that sticker thing back there from her. She's
really,
she's
really
got
cool.
Really unique story. She's Hispanic, and her story though is just so unique. Great person.
That's
Love
awesome.
her, and I'm gonna miss her next year. So shout you out. Thanks for that. Thanks for letting me buy that piece from your art gallery and. Starting my art collection because that's kind of what it does. It's had me excited. I've been waiting for a week to get it because her gallery wasn't closed. But now that I have it, I'm going to show it to Faith, and then I'm going to probably put it up in maybe in my office. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, sorry. I fucked up my computer for a second. Dude, I had half of my screen covered. The news just pulled up, and I had half of my screen covered by Donald Trump. I didn't know what was going on.
Oh, that's a scary sign.
I thought I was having a stroke. I thought it was the end of me.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, shit. Well, man, I think that's a pretty good point to close this one up. And if you got any closing thoughts, closing arguments, I do not. I've laid it into the NBA this week, and that's all I had to do.
Yeah, no real closing thoughts, no arguments at all. You know what? I hope everybody has had a good week, has a good week over here this next time. Wyatt, I hope you do as well, and we'll continue talking as we usually do.
Of course.
And I guess that right there is a wrap on episode 16. So thanks everybody for being here.
Yeah,
we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you in. Hold on a minute. I gotta get the chart. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
we will see you in 0.000994 Jonathans, give or take. So
we will see you in exactly that many Jonathans and not a moment sooner.
That's true.
So we'll see you guys later. Thanks for being here.
Adios.